to be African consecrated nation. Oh, Father, let this be us holy pledge. Defending thee shall be our dedication. Spilling our blood will count a privilege. The waving standard reachable, it's the free shall always be a flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed we'll pass. When we are poised, the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets peal the glorious song of victory. We score, oh mighty rock. Oh God, protect us from the heathen pitfall. Guide all our movements, lest we go astray. Give us the strength to heed the hill that is hard, to give and not to count the cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resoluteness, to make this night the land of righteousness.
This is BCB Breaking News Bulletin. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra. I am Rosama. Good evening. Good day, fellow people. News from various social media platforms and sources in the past few days have alerted us to the urgent situation with Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. We understand that he has been returned to Nigeria. We abhor the manner in which Kanu was returned to Nigeria. We also want to remind the Nigerian federal government that Kanu, as a human being, has human rights and dignity which must be maintained. BCB's Breaking News Bulletin brings you an urgent message from the leadership of BGIE, the Biafran government in exile.
Friends, brothers, and sisters, I come to you today from the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra. On Saturday, the 26th of June, 2021, the leader of one of our pro-Biafra organizations, the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, was abducted and held in solitary confinement by the Nigerian state. Unconfirmed reports indicate that the abduction took place in an African country where he was transiting on his way back to the United Kingdom. We have reliable information that he is now in the custody of the Nigerian Secret Police, otherwise known as the DSS. He was arraigned briefly in a court in Abuja on Monday, the 28th of June 2021. We understand he will be held there until his court hearing recommences on the 26th of July 2021. First and foremost, Biafra government in exile condemn in the strongest terms this abduction and detention of Kanu. We will hold the Nigerian government accountable for his safety and well-being whilst in their custody. We also expect, as do the international community, that he be treated with the utmost care, fairness, openness, and human dignity. We equally expect his trial to be fair, open, transparent, and not in secret. Nnamdi Kanu is now a political prisoner and suffering the same fate past political prisoners like Nelson Mandela, Aung San Suu Kyi, Mahatma Gandhi suffered in apartheid South Africa, in Burma, and in colonial India, respectively. It is vital to state that Nnamdi Kanu, an Igbo Biafra man, has not committed any criminal offense that should warrant his abduction and detention by the Nigerian government in this manner. Nnamdi, like many others, are fighting peacefully, in his case, through radio broadcasting, for fairness, equity, and justice. He has never carried arms. Rather, he's made his voice, his belief, and his hopes heard through the radio. This is a fundamental human right. The right to free speech and the right to choose who you associate or affiliate with. The demand for freedom and self-determination is not a demand for war and any form of violence. All pro-Biafra groups agitating for Biafra to exit from Nigeria have done so in a peaceful manner, through peaceful rallies, through prayers, through marches, and sitting at home in solemn prayer, reflection, and remembrance. Sadly, this peaceful approach has been met with brute force. Nigerian government under President Buhari consistently and constantly unleashing terror and mayhem on innocent peaceful protesters who are demanding to exercise their God-given right to self-determination. Thousands of unarmed Biafrans have been murdered by the Nigerian security forces, from Aba to Mpo, from Enugu to Owerri, from Olo to Osu, from Iguacha to Ogoja. Thousands more have been abducted and languishing in various army locations across the land. It will appear that the killing of Biafrans is something the federal government of Nigeria take with real joy in doing. Again, the killing of Biafrans have become an industry in Nigeria. But one thing is certain: no amount of abductions, intimidations, high-handedness, extrajudicial killings, detentions, and torture of Biafra agitators will stop the legitimate and peaceful agitation for the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. Nigeria as a nation is on its knees. It's suffering, it's bleeding from left, right, and center, riddled with poverty, especially child poverty, corrupt and inept leadership, banditry, criminal politicians, virtually no economic plan, zero productive capacity, poor health care, no social care, poor education, poor infrastructure, insecurity. It's become a haven for terrorists, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, and ISIS West Africa. The focus for Buhari and his Fulani government should have been how to defeat terrorists, fight poverty and hunger, strengthen productivity, encourage competition, strengthen the currency, and give the people renewed hope and rebuild shattered confidence and trust. But no, they choose to reward Boko Haram terrorists, fund terrorist Fulani headsmen because they are his kith and kin, and provide weapons for Islamic jihad against the peoples of the South. There is no fair play, no justice, as the government of Nigeria watch terrorists, herdsmen, inflict terror on communities in the Middle Belt, in Yoruba land and Biafra land. We know Buhari supports terrorists. We know Buhari funds terrorists and recruit them into Nigerian army. We know the government pays bandits. Sheikh Gumi confirmed that. We know that the Buhari government appoints terrorists into their cabinet. Pantami is a federal minister. But they hound defenseless, innocent Biafran agitators like wild animals. Under President Goodluck Jonathan, human rights were respected. People went about and protested. Even Buhari led various protests against the government. That was the beauty of democracy and civil society. No one was arrested. Biafrans protested peacefully too, without fear of intimidation, abduction, and death in the hands of the army and the police. The demand for Biafra exit is a noble one. We respect the rights of people who believe in a restructured Nigeria. They too should respect the rights of those who want a separate Biafra nation. In every civilized society, political questions are resolved using political democratic process. A process of referendum or plebiscite. People should have the freedom to exercise their human rights of association, of worship, of speech, and of life. No one should be denied those rights. In seeking for freedom and self-determination, the peoples and nation of Biafra make neither peace nor war with the peoples and nation of Nigeria. Rather, we exercise a natural law, a natural right, a popular right, a political right, and a right supported by United Nations Organization, Charter, and international law, the right of self-determination. For the avoidance of doubt, I want to categorically state that we do not support violence in any way, shape, or form in our quest to exit from Nigeria and become a free, independent Biafra nation. All pro-Biafra organizations at home and in diaspora adopt a non-violent approach. We are not, and have not, and shall not be involved in any form of criminal destruction of lives and properties. We vehemently disassociate ourselves from such form of criminal activities. I call on all free nations, with good conscience and true commitment to fairness, equity, and justice, to, for the first time, show true conviction in doing the right thing. We know you have interest to protect. We know you have business and financial ventures to protect. But there comes a time when doing the right thing overrides business considerations. That time, for us and for the rest of Africa, is now. We ask you to prevail on Nigeria to allow a free and fair political process to resolve the issue of Biafra. It is the right thing to do. The British people were allowed a vote on their future, and they chose to leave the European Union. That was the right thing to do. We ask you again, prevail on Buhari to stop sponsoring terrorists. The aid money you give to him and to Nigeria end up in the hands of terrorists, those who are prepared to harm you and harm us. These terrorists have shown they not only harm Biafrans, but they can also harm you in the United Kingdom. They can harm you in the United States, in Australia, in Canada, in Israel, and other places in Europe. You have an obligation to act now, to do the right thing. This is the right thing to do. We ask you to call on the Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu immediately. He is a United Kingdom national, a peaceful campaigner for freedom, equity, and justice. It is the right thing to do. History will tell you that the role you played in the massacre of over 3.5 million Biafrans between 1967 and 1970 was wrong. It was genocide, and you aided and abetted it, either by looking the other way, or by supplying the weapons that killed men, women, and children. Perhaps this is a good time to make it right, to do the right thing, and to rewrite history. Show the strength of your conviction, lead by example, and do the right thing this one time. To all Biafrans at home and in diaspora, I implore you to continue to be peaceful, to go about your lawful businesses calmly. Whatever happens, believe and keep the faith. As sure as the sun rises from the east and sets in the west day after day, also our hope for freedom shall not be extinguished. It shall never die. It is time for everyone to come together, regardless of your group or affiliation. This is our time. This is our moment. With new and renewed hope and honesty, sincerity, and good courage, let us march forward together, at home and in diaspora, to our destination, to a free nation of equity, fairness, opportunity, competition, of merit, duty, and the fear of God. To all political, socio-cultural, traditional, and spiritual leaders, to our elders, we love and respect you. We ask you for one thing and one thing only. Be strong and bold. Stand for the truth. Speak the truth. Take a stand for freedom and justice. Do not let generations to come suffer indignity, annihilation, and slavery. Do the right thing. Your wise counsel, direction, and advice is required now more than ever before. There is still time for real change. There is still time to turn from darkness to light. Do not let your people, our children, suffer one day longer. May God bless you as you take this stand. Finally, I call on the Nigerian government to embrace dialogue and constructive engagement with Biafra agitators, with the view to finding a comprehensive, peaceful arrangement that will enable Biafra to leave Nigeria in a civilized and peaceful and democratic manner. This is the right thing to do. Stop the killing of Biafrans. Stop the killing of innocent, unarmed, peaceful agitators. Stop arresting, abducting, and disappearing peaceful freedom fighters and agitators of freedom, and come to the negotiating table. Thank you, and God bless you all.
This ends today's news bulletin. I am Rose Ama. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra.
Hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. O Fatherland, this we must only pledge. Defending thee shall be our dedication. Spilling our blood will count our privilege. The waving stands and reachable bids the free shall always be our flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed we'll pass. When we are poised, the wounds of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets peal the glorious song of victory. We score, oh mighty wrong. Oh God, protect us from the heathen pitfall. Guide all our movements lest we go astray.